The Haunting of the Bengal House, a real ghost story with proof. In the heart of old Kolkata, hidden behind towering trees and rusted iron gates, stands a forgotten mansion known only by whispers, the Bengal House. Locals rarely speak of it. Those who do so in hushed tones, and never after sunset. For nearly a century, the house remained untouched. Cracked walls, shattered windows, and a silence so heavy, even birds avoided its trees. But in January 2024, 5 architecture students from a local university decided to explore the mansion as part of a historical restoration project. Young, curious, and skeptical of ghost stories, they convinced the caretaker to let them stay overnight. With flashlights, cameras, and their notebooks in hand, they entered the mansion just before dusk. At first, the house seemed nothing more than a decaying memory of the past. The wooden floor groaned beneath their steps, cobwebs clung to chandeliers, and faded portraits stared down from the walls. But as night fell, the air changed. A strange chill seeped into the rooms, and the lights they brought began to flicker. At exactly 2:17 a.m., it began. One of the students, Priya, was reviewing photos on her camera when she heard a soft whisper behind her, "Amar Bari." She turned, but no one was there. The others heard it too, echoing faintly through the halls. "Amar Bari, Amar Bari." It was a woman's voice, calm, sad, and distant. The group brushed it off as wind, but when the temperature in the hallway dropped suddenly, their laughter stopped. Their breaths became visible, though every window was shut. Doors that had been latched creaked open slowly on their own. The antique clock in the hallway, long broken, ticked once, then twice, then chimed loudly 3 times. That's when they set up the CCTV cameras. They placed them in all major rooms and corridors, determined to debunk the mystery. But what they captured would leave them shaken forever. On the footage, at 3 a.m., a figure appears in the hallway. A translucent woman in a red sari glides across the floor. Her hair is long and disheveled, her face pale, her eyes hollow, and most terrifying of all, her feet don't touch the ground. She turns to face the camera, and then she vanishes. But the horror didn't end there. In one of the recordings, a baby can be heard crying, then a blood-curdling scream, high-pitched and desperate. The students, watching the footage live from another room, fled the house in panic. One student claimed that as he ran toward the door, something grabbed his shoulder ice cold, yet unseen. Another dropped her phone when a porcelain doll flew off a shelf and shattered at her feet. Only Priya stayed behind long enough to grab the cameras. The next morning, shaken and sleep-deprived, the group shared their experience on social media. The videos went viral, instantly millions of views, thousands of comments, and debates across the internet. Was it real? A prank? Or proof of the supernatural? Local police were called to investigate. One constable entered the house for inspection. He came out 15 minutes later, pale and silent. He submitted his resignation that same evening, refusing to speak about what happened inside. Shortly after, a renowned paranormal team visited the mansion. They conducted rituals, EVP recordings, and spiritual readings. What they uncovered confirmed what the locals had whispered for years. A century ago, a young woman named Anjali lived in the mansion with her wealthy husband. He abandoned her when she became pregnant. Heartbroken and alone, Anjali died giving birth in the house. Her baby didn't survive either. Since then, her spirit has roamed the halls, searching, waiting, whispering the same words over and over. "Amar Bari, my home." The investigators concluded that her soul had become trapped in the place of her death, reliving the pain, the loss, and the betrayal night after night. The Bengal house has since been sealed. The gates are chained. Signs read, "Do not enter." But sometimes, just before dawn, passers-by say they hear soft footsteps on the roof, a lullaby hummed by a woman unseen. And if you listen closely, you might hear it too. "Amar Bari, Amar Bari."